Now we can finally get back to the lives of Leon and Victor, the main characters of the story. First, we'll start off with the story of Leon. 2,000 years ago, after the rebellion of Darkest, the world has been in peace and the mortals have been in perfect harmony with no one ever to threaten them again. A peaceful dimension that could live a normal life. But after all that, a new species has arrived. They're called night wolves. They are a species that are like Darkest, with demon blood inside them. But only difference is they have angel blood and mortal blood inside of them. So they're basically like Nephilim hybrids, and that's where Leon's family come. The parents' names were Lucian and Sonia. They are constant night wolves who are basically the same species as Darkest. They live in the largest countries that ever lived in the world. The town was unnamed, but the city was one of the largest in the whole world. It was like a kingdom they lived in, and that is where Leon was born, and they live a happy family together. But Leon's mother passed away before he was born. He never get to knew her at all. It was just a father and son. But tragedy wouldn't let it last, as in something bad happened. A mystic, powerful entity has attacked their town. With so much power, he destroys everything in his path. His name was Victor. That's right, the demon you know as evil. He began raining hell over the city and began killing innocent people. With so much power, he began causing destruction. So much destruction that no one could survive. It was like enjoying a meal. Lucian tried to protect everyone and hid his son away. He protected everyone and tried to fight Victor with his skills and great strength, with all he had. But regarding to failure, he thought you could save everyone. But you can't save them all. With the power of shadow and demonic power, he fights Victor. Despite being a powerful warrior, it was not enough to kill him. Unfortunately, Lucian failed and was defeated by Victor. Victor has murdered the Night Wolf. However, in reality, it was someone else that actually killed Lucian when Victor defeated him. So in reality, Victor didn't kill the father of the poor kid. The town begins to burn down, and Leon was the only survivor to ever survive the attack. The poor child was left believing that he no longer had parents and no one to help him. Leo was left alone in a whole world of tragedy. Because of being a kid, Leo was left in the world and he had to find somewhere to survive and live for his entire life. But someone with a kind heart came and adopted him, saving him from the tragedy he's going through. Speaking of Victor, I think you will want to hear his story. A long time ago, Victor was one of the Wolf Knights. That's right. Before he became this, he was one of the Wolf Knights who survived in the rebellion of Darkest. despite being a monster who would go against him. In the ending, Victor has been captured, defeated, scarred, and for experiments, someone turned him into a living hybrid. Under the influence of darkness and demons, he became something greater, a demon warrior who transformed into a monster of death. He has disappeared, as in being wiped out from the face of the earth, but it was only for now, as in he would come back. Now to get back to the life of Leon. After the terrorist attack, Leo had to live in a city where he was all alone, confused, and endangered, with wounded scars on him. Therefore, no one was willing to help him. But not all was lost for poor Leo, as someone with a gentle heart came and saved him. His name was Andreas, a man who was just wandering until he found a poor boy wounded with scars. He knew he had to help, so he took him and raised him and became his father, giving him a new life, a new family, even a sister for Leon to play with and to have as a sister. Leo has lived with his newfound family for most of his childhood life, and with his newfound sister, whose name Mia, for such a long time they became close to each other. When Leon was 10 years old, he began training with his father, becoming a great fighter just like him, a better swordsman, and becoming an excellent warrior. Before we move on, it should be good to detail where he's living and who is this Andreas character. Andreas wasn't an FBI or a man, rather he is a Symphonian who is part of an organization called ZIS, also known as the protector of this world, for its people and its life. However, they do some crazy experience from bioweapons and some scientist stuff that would help them against monstrous entities. However, Andreas didn't take Leo in to experiment him, and that's exactly what the ZIS wanted. They wanted to experiment him, and also it was necessary to know about this type of creature Leo is. However, Andreas doesn't want him to experiment him because, despite being his son, he does not want them to torture and analyze him. Rather, if he could, he would do it himself. And so, with the help of the scientists, Andreas analyzed his son on gentle ways. In case he gets curious, Andreas would tell him something that wouldn't trigger his nerves or cause any permanent harm. The ZIS then discovered that Leo was actually one of the survivors on the terrorist attack on his home city. And so, they did something for Andreas and so that there wouldn't be any danger or regarding harmful reports. So they decided to keep it a secret that Leo was one of the survivors on the terrorist attack. And so, they keep it cool that no one will ever tell them that Leo was one of the survivors. Although Andreas adopted Leo as his father, Leo has lived in Symphonia for most of his childhood life, even though being different than the other Symphonians, but he never became a danger to them. While recording to this, tragedy would yet again follow him. As for Symphonia being under attack.